And now, here's your host of Shaping Success, Wes Tankersley.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Shaping Success. I'm your host, Wes Tankersley. Morning coffee. If you missed it yesterday, we did our weekly book review with Robert Watson. He's got a book called Ars Victorious coming out. And I missed a day this week. It's funny because I've tried to challenge myself to do this every single day. With that becomes of what are we going to talk about? And it's a challenge to be better, to be thinking outside the box, to be trying to make more content and kind of help you guys kind of see the ups and downs of life in general. It's funny. There is no rhyme or reason for anything, and it's very interesting to see a lot of things. There's a lot of new followers on TikTok right now that I have generated, which we're live on YouTube. We're live on TikTok. Good morning, Nikki, over on YouTube, Facebook. I think we're on Twitter even. But it's crazy. I mean, it's interesting to see some of the things that happen. And I had posted a video of a duet on TikTok that I did like 2 years ago. And it's currently at 1.2 million views, which is ridiculous because I just don't get it. There's no rhyme or reason, right? There's no reason for it. It's almost given me 500-600 new followers, which is cool to see because there's been no growth, but it's amazing to see like why. So if you are bacon lovers and you have commented or interacted with that post or anything like that, thank you very much. It's cool to see. But it would be nice if other videos got that kind of view, but it doesn't really happen that way. So anyway, it is what it is. We put those things out there and you never know when it's going to happen. It's interesting because when I jump on here, sometimes I don't have a whole lot to talk about and I have to think about it. And then I get motivated to find things and work through things. And I think one of the biggest issues that right now that I'm dealing with is having the patience to be able to get through things. I have a decision in my life that I need to make. And over and over again, like it's been revealed to me that I probably need to calm down, take a step back, wait a minute, and be patient, which is the hardest thing that you can do. I feel like it's one of the hardest things that you can do for me, period. And as I'm dealing with that, I go through and I've been kind of like posting stuff on my Instagram story, which is kind of funny because if you don't follow me on Instagram, you won't know, but that's what's going on. As you look through stuff, you kind of see, and we post things over there. If you have not checked it out, I have a channel over there. You should go check it out and go take a look at it. But I go through and I see some stuff and I kind of post, things that I see and how they kind of relate to my life. And so I kind of want to go through those because I think that that's one of those deals where there are a lot of things that you see. And as I related to in the last episode, I don't necessarily, I used to think that like my mom used to post this stuff on Facebook all the time. She used to post these like rah quotes. And I don't necessarily know that the rah quotes are the ones that get me going, but it's the ones where you have to really think about it and how it relates to your life and how you've done that. And that's what I like about them is like, I can sit there and I can go through those quotes and I can think of a time in my life where I was using where I was using these tools to help me move forward. And that's what it's all about. It's all about moving forward. It's all about being better. It's all about trying to find a way to just keep pushing through it and moving on. And so remember when you hop on here, you may hear me say the same thing, but it is a constant mantra in my mind to continue to keep doing what you need to be doing. So this one's by Jordan Peterson, love him or hate him, but this is something to me that like really resonates. You're not obligated to associate with people who are making your life worse. And we get lost in that. We think, there's a great quote that talks about family. Just because they're blood doesn't make them family. All right. Think about that. It makes you related. How does it not make you? Even though they are your family, and if they are bringing you down and dragging you down, you don't have to be associated with them. And that's how I think about that. It's like there's there's a lot of family issues that we deal with and we hang on to, and we continue to just allow it to happen, allow it to bother us, because they're family. It's okay. We make that excuse. It's all right. Just because they're family, we're related. We're, whatever. That's not necessarily true. If you have family members who are dragging you down, it doesn't mean that you have to just like say, I'm done with you. But if they drag you down, if they make you feel bad about yourself, you just don't feel good when you're around them, you don't need to be around them all the time. See them at Thanksgiving, see them at Christmas, see them whenever, but you don't have to be, oh, it's a family thing. I should just invite these people. I should just hang out with them. I should just be with them. Okay. Remember that, like the people you associate with, that's anyone in general. If they are bringing you down, if they're not there to help you become better, if they're not pushing for you to reach your goals, and it's not helping you and not making you better, you don't have to be around them. This one is by Jim Kwik. And if you guys don't know who Jim Kwik is, he's an author. He has I think it's called Clear, or not Clear. I'd have to go back and look at it. He has a video, or not a video, a book out, which is, he talks about, he had a brain injury when he was younger. It's a pretty good book. Less comparison. So quit comparing yourself to others. More appreciation. Appreciate the things that you have. Less rushing your growth. So patience, which we're talking about right now, which I need to be a lot more patient. And then that's the last thing. It's like more patience in your progress. So think about what you are doing. And we all want that instant gratification. We all want everything to be perfect right away. We all want everything to happen right away. And this is the one that I'm struggling with right now, because I want it to happen now, but I'm also looking back at the big picture. And if it happens now, it's not going to be good for everyone. It's going to be good for a couple people. And you have people just kind of pushing you and pushing you and pushing you. And the hard part is like taking the leap, taking the jump, doing the thing for me is like the challenge, right? I'm not challenging myself if I quit. And someone sent me a message yesterday and said, I feel like if you stop the progress right now, the momentum may stop for good. And then I have to jump back to myself and say, no, that's not the case, because I still want to do this thing, but it's not going to behoove me to do it right now. I have to get my ducks in a row. There's a point where you spend too much time, and I get this, there's a point where you spend too much time trying to get your ducks in the row, because you can sit there and you can sit on the fence and never do it. And you can just sit there and find reasons not to do it right now. And you can always say, well, like, I need more money. I need more this. I need more that. And you're trying to get those ducks in a row. And at some point that just kind of stops you in your tracks. But like with me, I feel like I've been moving so hard forward on this thing that it's time for me to take a step back and just make sure that everyone is going to be in a good space when I take the step that I need to take. And I know it's vague, and I know that that's tough to understand, but like I have to protect myself, right? Like I can't tell y'all exactly what this step is, but it's going to be big. That's all there is to it. And I'm going to make a decision that is going to be better for me and better for my life and better for everyone that I'm involved with. And that's hard sometimes, like to be, I'm not alone because there are people that I talk to in that space, but it's still kind of tough because you can't really some people don't understand. That's one of the things about like people who are making your life worse or associating or having that patient is like, there's a lot of people who will not understand what's actually going on. They won't get it because they don't get you. They don't think that way. They don't have that thought process, right? It's like quitting a job. I see some people sit in a job that they dislike forever. And, my wife's like, well, what are you going to do? You're just going to get tired. You're just going to get bored with anything. It's like, no, that's not the way it is. But I'm not going to sit there and be somewhere that I dislike and allow that to just tear me up inside. And just remember that, like, just because you're in this job or whatever you're in, or this relationship or life in general, doesn't mean that you have to stay there. It doesn't mean you have to stay there if it's not allowing you growth and not allowing you to be better. May your success infuriate the shit out of people who can't stand to see you win. We all have those people in our life. We all have those people who do not want to see us win. And even if they do want to see us win, they're jealous. They try to stop you in your tracks. They try to just end it for you. Piss them off. Have that goal. Put that chip on your shoulder and prove them wrong. These are things that, like, as I'm scrolling through Instagram, I see them. I'm like, yeah, that's right. This is it. This is one of those things. And I know that that's pretty general. But the realization is that that's the chip you have to have on your shoulder. You have to be willing to just keep pushing, to keep going. This is a tough one right now that I'm relating to, because it's one of those things that I think about a lot, because am I kind of selling out if I don't, or am I just being cautious, or what am I doing? But always go with the choice that scares you the most, because that's the one that is going to help you grow. A lot of people believe that there can't be growth without challenge, without being a little bit uncomfortable, and I do too. But I have to figure out where that comfort level is, and you do too. You have to figure out, are you comfortable with taking that situation in the way that it is right now? Or are you willing to make a calculated decision? And that's where I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make a calculated decision that's going to make everything better for everyone. And you have more, like I have more to think about. Like I have a wife, I have 2 kids, I have this life that I've built, and figuring out how to hang on to that, as well as make the things happen that I need to happen. And that's a difficult thing sometimes, but I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. I'm just trying to put myself in the right position. And that's what you need to do. You need to figure out exactly where the right position is for you. Okay, one more here. No need to cut people off. Just grow. They will fall off. I've seen this happen time and time again. There are people who do not want to see you win. And we talked about that a little bit ago. There are people who don't want to see you win, and they will do everything in their power to make sure that you don't, talk you out of it, tell you to stop, tell you to quit trying because it's not worth it, because all these things could happen. What if you fail? What if you run out of money? What if whatever? Like, there's always these what ifs, right? Of what can happen. Who are you going to hurt? Who is this? Who is that? Blah, blah, blah. There's always that voice of reason. And I think about like that cartoon where there's the devil and the angel on one shoulder, and like, do it, don't do it. You know, like there's a point where you have to realize that you are in charge. You are the person who has to make those things happen, and you have to make the choice. And so you can have those people telling you one thing and telling you to do another, but you have to really just do something that is calculated. And that's where I'm at. All right. So remember that, calculate those choices. People are going to want to stop you. People are going to tell you it's not right, but you are the only person who can make that decision. Okay. That's pretty much all I got. I wanted to look through that. I wanted to talk about that. And you will get these times where I will come on here and it'll kind of seem rambling or incoherent. That's not really what this is. Like, I'm not saying that that's where I'm at today, but these are the things that I'm using to try and better myself and try to move forward and to continue to be better every single day. And that's what I'm going to challenge you to do. Maybe you don't know what you want to do. Maybe you have an idea of what you want to do, but you just don't know how to make it happen. Maybe you need to work through it, but and Robert and I talked about this, and I've said this before, you need to grab that camera. I'm looking in this brand new camera right now, and it really, like, it has a look on my face, like you can kind of see where I'm at. But if I zoom this thing out, I'm going to go back and I'm going to find this big picture, and it's not going to be clear, and it's not going to be what it is, but I'm going to know where I want to go. So I'm going to choose that goal, whatever it is. If it's going to be, I'm going to lose 100 pounds or whatever, and you see the end result, you see what you're going to look like, you see how you're going to feel, you see all those things that are going to happen, and then you start to zoom back in. And as you're zooming in, you're seeing all these milestones and these goals and these things that you've hit and those steps that you have taken to get there, and then you're back in focus and where you're at. Set your goals like that. What is it going to take? What are the steps you need? The journey of 1,000 steps begins with 1. So what are the steps in between that 1,000 that you have to do in order to make that happen? That's all I got for you. I appreciate you. Thank you, Lynette, for the gifts here on TikTok. Nikki, thanks for hanging out. We got our Patreon supporters. Nikki, Michelle is a subscriber on TikTok, as well as Frank Hogue. And who else we got? And Nikki's a subscriber there. Nikki's Patreon. If you guys want to join the Patreon, just go ahead and hit that link in my bio. You can go to westankersley.com. It has all the links for everything. We've got some new Move Forward shirts out without the logo on them. Certain different colors. You can hit me up if you want some of those. I have a couple more sweatshirts left. We got some beanies, stickers, all that stuff. All those things that you do where you either purchase some items, subscribe to the TikTok, subscribe to the Patreon. It all helps me to continue doing this. Even though I'm going to continue to do it, it's not a lot, but it does help me, purchase equipment, things like that. I've pretty much got everything I need. So now all it is me putting in the work to make it better. But I appreciate y'all being here. Without you, there's no me. Until next time, I challenge you to find the shape of your success.